Hi everyone, welcome to Man Manga Boy reviews a manga chapter. I decided to start doing One Piece since the break just ended, and I love One Piece. You guys are gonna find that out about me real quick. So we have a nice little spread here of the new four emperors. I love Buggy the Clown, one of my favorites. Very excited to see his reaction to the news that he's an emperor, though he probably already knew all along. We open up the chapter with this nice little flower capital here, and we're just cocking on through, looking like a real cocky bastard. He's the woodsman with the power of the wood fruit. So that is what our green bull actually has for his powers. He, doesn't eat, doesn't sleep, and this is why, this is how. The remaining scabbards show up to kind of try to slow him down and stop him before he can get to the capital. Obviously, that doesn't work out super good. He explains that, these people of Wano don't have any human rights, and he uses his Logia type fruit. He just goes out and says that it's pure Logia, nature itself, and that the forest is just as much the cradle of life as the sea, which is pretty interesting. That thing to say, but I guess since he's a plant guy, I guess that makes sense. I don't really know what he even is here. I mean, he's like this big tree monster looking thing. He looks pretty cool, but also pretty goofy. He the whole time is just saying how much the country doesn't matter since it's not part of the world government and it's isolated and doing its own thing. Yamato shows up and kind of brings it down to him, wrecks him a little bit, does a little bit of damage. He goes, "Yow, that's some tough hockey." Realizes why. It's because it's the son of Kaido, which is interesting that Yamato would say that, since Yamato is always saying that they're Kazuki Oden. But here we are doing that. And then he also sees the dragon here. So the dragon is, of course, Momo. He charges up a blast breath, which when I saw that, I was like, oh shit, he can do blast breath. And he does a little poof. It's just like this tiny ass flame that comes out. Obviously, the green bull is just like, what the fuck? And then he charges inwards and bites him to help kind of defend the capital a little bit, because he swore an oath. Of course, he thinks it's odd that there's a green dragon kind of shaped like Kaido, and he tells Yamato that Yamato can't fight against this green bull for some reason. Pretty interested to find out what's going on there. That's pretty much the end of this invasion of Wano for now. We cut over to Shanks. Shanks is near the Wano Sea. It looks like he's gotten up the waterfall. You can see the water is like that cartoony water and everything like that. We've got pillars here. Looks pretty cool. We see Shanks talking with his crew. Yasop's there. And he's saying he's not ready to see Usopp. And meanwhile, I think that's Beck. It says that that's not named Kid is still running around. He's got a pay for picking a fight with us. Snot named Kid is still around. So like I think we're talking about Eustace Kid, not 100%. And we also get to see Shanks, obviously. So Shanks looks a little bit older here. He remembers the time he took back the Gum Gum fruit from the world government. It looks like Shanks knew this was actually going to be the sun god fruit for Nika, which a lot of us did speculate, but here we're confirming it, which is odd because we wonder how he ever learned that. We also see Shanks had to get through CP9 in order to get that, which they did allude to earlier. We see Who's Who here as well. And Shanks is sailing out through there. He just wants this one fruit that turns into rubber, so they're kind of confused as to why he'd want it. Then it shows Luffy and Shanks kind of hanging out together. We see the weird instance where Shanks, who could fight CP9, but he couldn't fight the Sea King. It adds even more confusion to me, but whatever. And Shank remembers all this stuff kind of fondly, and he then kind of says that he's not interested in seeing Luffy at this time. He tells us that Bartolomeo and his crew thing are taking over Shanks' countries for whatever reason. He's taking down the flags and burning them and replacing them with Luffy's. So that's odd that he would, have the balls to do that, in my opinion, but whatever. We also see Shanks saying that it's time to make their move to claim the One Piece. So Shanks is getting serious. He's getting into action. Very hyped for this. We cut over again to Navy HQ in the New World, and we see what happened at the Reverie finally. It looks like Sabo actually killed Cobra, the king of Alabasta, which made him like a superstar. Everyone's calling him the Flame Emperor Sabo now, and he's like a hero of the world. It's pretty interesting though, because the world government actually tells us here that it was founded by 20 people. Right, so 20 people found the world government. And of their descendants, only Cobra attended the Reverie. So Cobra is part of the, he's one of the descendants of the 20, which very interesting. And he was the only one of their descendants that showed up. I wonder if Cobra is a direct descendant or if it's like, years and years ago, because it was only 100 years in the past, the Void Century. So it's hard to say. I also see that in the land of the gods, the living area of the celestial dragons, that they were actually able to destroy the hoof of the celestial dragon symbol, and it caused declaration of war for the Revolutionary Army versus the Navy, the admirals Green Bull and Fujitora. I forget what he is. So in Green Bull is Ryo Kyugyu. I can't say his name, so I just call him Green Bull. But in the end, the Revolutionary Army and the Celestial Dragon Slave Bartholomew Kuma, which is like, holy shit, escaped. And so I think this gives us confirmation that the Celestial Dragon had the real Kuma, not a pacifista. I think, again, a lot of us assumed that, but no one was really sure. So that is pretty wild. We also find out that Vivi is, taken at the same time as the murder. Very cool to see that. Vivi's still kind of kicking around here, probably joining the Revolutionary Army. I doubt Sabo actually did kill Cobra, though, since Cobra is a pretty good guy, seemingly anyways, but who really knows what happened there. And I wonder why Sabo got that nickname, the Flame Emperor, because did he use the move? But time will tell. Very interested with this whole kind of set of developments here. Akainu laments that he is in a big mess right now. We also get introduced to this guy. His name is Kuroma Tensei. He is the director of the Naval Bureau of Investigation, like the FBI, I suppose. But he's saying that there's an 8-nation revolution happening right now, and it's sparking rebellion all over the world. We see Sabo being worshipped, which is really cool. And they already know the connection between Sabo and Luffy and Ace. So that's also pretty interesting. And on the last page here, we note that Akainu is going to drive each and every one of them back to the depths of the sea, despite, this uprising and rebellion happening here. I obviously really enjoyed this chapter. I cannot wait for more of this to come out. I waited a month for this chapter here, and so did we all. We all waited a month for this. And since it came out, I gotta say, this is a pretty good chapter. I really do wish we had more on Buggy and or Blackbeard, though, because they are doing what right now? Since the news came about that we've got a new emperor, the last time they said Luffy was the 5th emperor, we had pretty much an immediate reaction from Blackbeard. Now that they're back to being a Yonko, Blackbeard's gotta be pissed. So that's pretty interesting. Another thing that I thought was pretty cool was in the 4 Emperors splash art at the beginning, it says 4, and then it's got the number 4 over the word 4, like the Fantastic Four almost. So that's pretty cool that they emphasize that like that. Not sure what the significance of it is at this point, but maybe they're saying Blackbeard has 4 fruits. Who knows? Blackbeard's pretty wild. He could pretty much do anything, it seems like, at this point. But yeah, that is kind of what happened throughout this chapter. Again, really happy overall with it. A lot of developments. To see Shanks saying that he's going to go and find the One Piece now really looks awesome. I mean, what has he been doing? But I feel like he could have been looking for it this whole time. And he definitely knows where it is. I actually had thought that Shanks wasn't going even after the One Piece at all because, Roger probably told him what's going on. But it is odd because Shanks seems to know a lot about what's going on. He knows about Luffy. He's showing up at Wano because he's thinking that Luffy might get his ass kicked, is what I'm thinking. Because he shows up but just leaves and he gets like all the way there. And so I really feel like Shanks was getting there to back Luffy up if he needed it, but he's seeing that Luffy doesn't need his help. He also showed up at the exact right moment for the Paramount War. So Shanks really seems to know where to be, which is odd to me. And a lot of Shanks' friends slash, what's the word, acquaintances have made it into the Yonko. I mean, Buggy was like his best friend when he worked with Gold Roger. And Luffy, you know, he was a big role model for Luffy, gave him even his hat. And Blackbeard, he doesn't have that much of a relationship to. I kind of think that Blackbeard and Shanks are going to be fated. I think Blackbeard's going to kill Shanks, but that's just me thinking things out loud. So what do you guys think happened with the Reverie? Do you think that it's exactly as they say? Do you think that, you know, Sabo actually killed Cobra? I kind of doubt it. Do you think Vivi's part of the Revolutionary Army now? Or do you think she's doing her own thing? Do you think she hates Sabo because of what he supposedly did? And where the heck is Luffy with this attack here? The Green Bull. You'd think he would be here to help out Momo, but he isn't. And, you know, clearly Yamato's out there, so I would think Luffy would know since Yamato said that they were joining the crew. It's odd, though, because I don't think Luffy ever said welcome to the crew at this point, Yamato. So that is something that I thought we were going to have actually addressed at this time. We also still don't have the bounties for, you know, the rest of the Straw Hat crew at this time. We do have a few of them, but again, not them all. I don't know really, though, if Yamato is part of the crew or not. I think Yamato is. I don't know what's happening there, though, with that. Pretty exciting stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much all of my thoughts for this week's chapter of One Piece. You know, please let me know down below your thoughts of it. Was it worth the month wait? Let me know about the other things I was asking you about, such as the why Shanks wasn't traveling, why, you know, we have all of these other things with the Revolutionary Army, what's going on there, and what the heck has Luffy been up to? Like, where has he been? Down below, please like, comment, subscribe to this video if you enjoyed it, and I'll probably be doing these weekly since the Race of Summer Sales last week is, well, this week, so I need to make a Monday video. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.